Welcome back, everyone. New day. Today we're gonna get some stone for the maple farm. I'll show you behind me. I got some up here on the wall. I bought this a while back for the builder so he knew where he had to trim to, what level we wanted to go at, and just to look at it to see if we like the color, whatnot. But we got some right here. This is called a Versetta stone, and these are the panels. They measure 8 inches wide or 8 inches tall, and then you got a capstone that goes on top. We are going to hop in the truck, Brenna and I, and we're gonna head out to Ballston Spa, New York. There's a Curtis Lumber out there that's got a ton of this stuff. My local Curtis Lumber doesn't have much to choose from, so I talked to them. They gave me a quote, so that quote's good for out there. So we're gonna hop in the truck, we'll take you for a ride. Here we go. All right, so we're getting close to our destination. It says we're about 10 miles out. But kind of a funny story this morning. I had a gentleman stop by the house, and he reached out to me on my Facebook Messenger last night. He said he was in town for the baseball park. He had a team playing at Dream Sparks in Cooperstown. He's a fellow sugar maker up in Vermont with about, I think he said 3,500 tabs. So his name was Bob. He stopped down this morning, and we had a nice conversation. The coolest things about having a YouTube channel, you meet some pretty cool fellow sugar makers every once in a while. So that was neat. He said he was in the area. He said he got looking around. He said, man, this looks familiar here. And he saw the basketball hoop in the driveway, and then he said he saw my dually. He said, that's Crestview Maple Farms house. So he stopped down, and we had a great conversation for about 40 minutes. We're just about there, about 8 miles to go. We'll be at our destination. We'll pick up some stone. We have arrived here at this Curtis Lumber. This place is pretty massive, actually. All right, we'll go and see if we can get some stone here. We got some stone. We got it all to fit barely. Little caps right here in this big pallet. We got a bunch stacked up here in the front. Hopefully nothing's cracked. It's already after 12. By the time I get back, man, we're not gonna get much done today, but tomorrow we'll get on it. All right, we're gonna head back home. Oh man, we spent most of the day on the road. It's 3 o'clock already, and we finally got back. Gonna get this stone unloaded. I'm going to get all my tools rounded up, and I'm going to take a look through these directions because I never put this stuff up before, but I just want to take a look through these right here. Nice thing about this Versetta stone, it comes with installation instructions and all the stuff you need to set it up, especially that starter strip, getting that starter strip started correctly. So we're going to look through this stuff, and we're going to get started on putting some stone up on the maple farm. I've been looking forward to doing this project. So far, all the building has been done by my builders, but now I'm going to start doing some of the stuff that I want to do, which is this stone, and then I'm going to do all the inside as well. So we'll see what we can get done today. Here we go. We got something started here. So the starter strip's important. You got to put it in level. I'll show you what we have. So they recommend you want about an inch and a half gap underneath this. You don't want it tight to the concrete, so if it gets frost in the ground, it comes up and pushes. So I snapped the line. I marked this up 4 inches. And we got the starter strip on. I just snapped a control line. So the installation guide tells you want to snap a control line like 2 feet up. So every time you set one of these, you can measure up. So I have my control line 2 feet up. So we're going to start setting some of these panels right now. Where's my square? So we got one screw in it holding that. So there's a tongue on this, so you can see right here. So I'll take my back of my hammer and I'll just pound that off so it's flush. But I got my square up on here, making sure this is kind of flush with the end of the wall, which is pretty nice right there. So yeah, that's the first panel. So we'll start running these down through there. So we'll run this first one all the way out, and then what we cut off the other end, we'll start with on this end. They say no less than 8 inches, so it has to be longer than 8. So let's put some of this up. All right, so we got the first one up, all screwed in. I'll show you where we're running level-wise. It don't get no better than that. But these are tongue and groove, so they lock together. So we'll put the next one in and see how it goes. It's about pitch dark out here. The sun's down. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but we got this first full course on. I'll use the light from the drill. Maybe you can see. But we got this first course on all the way down 20 feet to the other end of the jog. I've already got the second course started, but that's going to be it for today. Didn't get much accomplished, but was on the road most of the day. But tomorrow I should get a pretty good run on this. I'll start first thing 5:30 in the morning. All right, back out here this morning. Been working on this for about, I don't know, about an hour and a half. We got some stone going on the wall. I've got one more panel to put on top of this course we're on, and then I got to put the capstone on, or the wainscot, which is that guy right there. It's like a little shelf piece. It runs pretty good. You got to fudge them a little bit, like a 16th sometime, just because it's stone. It's, you know how stone is. It's not made the same all the time. It's like, you know, they put this in a mold probably and pour it or whatever. We're getting down towards the end of the wall here. Got a little bit left to go here. So I was talking to my cousin about this, if I needed some sort of ice or water shield on the wall, but being that it's under the covered porch, it's never going to see weather. He said you're good to go. So we're just putting these right up to the zip system. What I would recommend is laying all your stone out first, because they do vary in thickness and that will throw you off. So what I've been trying to do is go through my stone over here and I lay them all out, measure them all out, and make sure that I'm the same width. That way I'm pretty good. But pretty decent stuff. You got to play around with these tongues. Sometimes these tongues right here are a little bit more on there because it's a mold, but you want to definitely clean out the groove. We're going to have some finished product here on this wall here probably within the next 35-40 minutes. I'll put that next piece up on there, and then we'll put the wainscot coming across. That's why this control line is very important to put up. You snap that line up 2 feet, and then you can always measure up and see where you're at. And if you're off a little bit, just adjust them a little bit, up or down. So yeah, we'll keep after it. Getting to the end of the wall here, I'll show you what we got. So we gotta have to cut a piece for here and a piece for here to true up these 2 rows. But I want to show you the level. Things are running real nice. Get those 2 pieces cut, and then we're gonna start the last course, and then we can put the cap piece on. And this section of this 20-foot wall will be done. I kind of stopped on the stone because I need to put more starter strip on. So this is a starter strip I got going on. I measured up 4 1/4 inches. They say you want a little gap under the bottom for movement. So I snapped a line. My wife helped me. Got these next 2 pieces laid out right there, and then 2 10-foot sections down to get me down to the end of the wall. We'll put the starter strip up right now quick. So I didn't do much videoing with a stone because I had to find a diamond blade. I lost 3 hours in a day trying to find one. I found one for my chop saw, which I had to have Bill cut the stone and make the angles. But we have a section done here, which I think it looks beautiful. What do you think, babe?
I think it looks great.
It's almost 7 o'clock. We'll get rid of this debris at the back of the trailer. I got to return the trailer and get ready to go out of town for the week. But here's a section that's completely done. Capstone on top. So now our metal will come right down, and right about here he'll put a little trim piece on. So if I ever have to take that off, I can get it off.
I think it looks really nice with the black cap piece and the black door.
So that section is done. We started over here on the other side. We don't lack much. We got one more course to put on top of that, and then the cap piece. So I say maybe 3 hours. 3 hours left in this project and the stone will be completely done. Next video you see, this whole shell will be done. Thanks for watching.